Welcome to the next episode of Dr. Kamini Rao's Master Class.
Cut. Please come this side.
Why? What happened?
Please come this side. Are you all wondering what's happening? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here today. It's my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Kamini Rao, my mother, in her new avatar. So, Mummy, how do you feel the roles being reversed?
I'm trying to get used to this. Why have you put me in this seat?
So, I'm going to be explaining to you what's going to happen in this episode, and to all our esteemed guests, I want to give an introduction of Kamini Rao's Master Class, the scenes that happen behind this. So, let me explain to you and our esteemed guests what goes behind the scenes of Kamini Rao's Master Class. So, as a child, I have always been inspired by you. You have always been my guide, my philosopher, my mentor, at times my tormentor as well. You have been doing this at least for the past 3 to 4 episodes that I have been watching. People are getting really motivational and very inspired by what you are talking. So how did this idea set in for you?
Vaishnavi, I must tell you that you're lucky that you were with me and you have had the guidance. But having seen a lot of people, and perhaps during the COVID time and the lockdown time, I had a lot of time to think. And when I was in this particular period, during the time when I had to be at home and not be able to move around anywhere, I had plenty of time to introspect. And I found that there were a lot of things that I could actually put across to people where they could actually get more out of them than they actually thought they could. And I said that everyone needs an idol, an icon. And why do you have to search for that icon outside? If you take a stone and if you chisel that stone, you can either make a stone into small pieces, or you can make it into a Ganesha idol, or you can make it into a ball. It depends on what you can make it. Your imagination is what is going to limit you. Dream, and dream big. Dream when you're awake and not asleep. So I thought, why can't I get people to look inwards? And the best way to do it is to get people who have been in a middle class background and who have gone forward in spite of a lot of hurdles, and they have achieved goals. And most of their idols have either been within the family or themselves itself, learned from their failures. And what's the best way to learn than from your own failures, because you won't make that mistake. And therefore I chose to say that why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary.
So, Mummy, how do you manage shooting with so many lights, cameras, and it is so difficult, I feel, right, from your profession, how you are doing your clinical work, to coming and sitting on the seat. I'm feeling it's too hot. Don't you feel so?
Well, if you want to see, you can either say that the seat is hot, or you can always say that the seat is not hot because your mind is concentrated elsewhere. And my mind is not concentrated on the seat, but on my dear viewers, because I am concentrating on the young viewers whose mind is hot to receive my thoughts. And when my thoughts have been received in there, then my seat is cold. So the arc lights don't bother me.
I am happy that Kamini Rao's Masterclass has received appreciations by the public, by your friends, by your colleagues. So what happens behind the scenes? I'm more interested in that because I want to understand what is going on.
You must understand that it was not easy, because I was always in the commander's seat, and this time I was taking instructions from the director, and I'm sure you will understand. Take 1, take 2, take 3. I've even had to take 28. Behind the scenes, there are a large number of people. And the one thing that we know, that in a car, we need to have one driver and all the others as passengers. And that driver is the director. She's Pooja. Not an easy director, believe me. I have faced a lot of directors before in other places, but this director, not easy. Take 28, I can't even forget it even till today. And ಅತ್ತೆಗೊಂದು ಕಾಲ ಸೊಸೆಗೊಂದು ಕಾಲ, ಇದು ಸೊಸೆ ಕಾಲ. ನಾನು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Vaishnavi, we come and sit here and talk, but before that, Pooja and her technical team have to do a lot of work. So if the shoot is at about 9 o'clock, they are there by 6:30 in the morning, getting the lights ready, getting the cameras ready, getting the focus ready. They have people sitting in the chairs like we are sitting so that they can get their focus ready, and believe me, that's not an easy task. And every nook and corner, the entire thing is cleaned up, and they know what is the continuity, and it's not easy at all, and they've done a fantastic job. And even after we go out, they have another 2-3 hours of work, so that's not seen. So these are the real heroes, I would say, be it a film, be it a short documentary, or even the Masterclass. And because of COVID, we take extra care, and what you see on the Masterclass is shot by 6 cameras. That's why you don't see any shadows behind, and the entire management of the cameras and the lights is taken care by Pooja and her team, and that is Srinivas, and between the two of them they manage 6 cameras, and that's a big task, and they've done an excellent job. Very good. Due to COVID, we take utmost care, and everyone knows when the screening is going on, there is silence everywhere, and whether we have the person who brings tea, or whether there is somebody to go and pick up the guest, drop the guest, get all the things here, we have one person. Then we have the driver who goes and picks up the guest, they go and get the flowers. So everything is arranged clockwork. So we have a large number of people who do multitasking. Pooja herself heads not only the operational side but also the digital marketing side. She's ably supported by Kaustubh and Ashray. We have Sridhar, who looks after the finance and also the administration part of it. Not to forget that as soon as I come in, we have Shantama, who gives me a good hot cup of tea, and of course my spot boys, Manju, who makes sure that everything is done on time, and he's the handy boy as well to go and pick up small errands. We have with us Pritasha, who's the hospitality person, who will make sure that the guest is comfortable. And then of course I have Sam, who does the content writing, makes sure that the research on that guest is all done before I actually interview the guest, which is also important. Then I have, of course, my own assistant Urmila, who looks after my clothes and my makeup and all that. So you must understand that while I may have said this very easily, they not only do their own work, but when the need arises, they slip into the other job as well. So they multi-skill, and that's the beauty of this team.
It's really fantastic to know that, Mummy. Although there's a big generation gap between you and your team, all of you are coordinating, multitasking, which is very nice to know.
Yes, it has to happen, because if you do not actually coordinate, then what happens is there's a lot of noise. If you want a perfect picture, then everything has to coordinate. And even though I happen to be the oldest in the team, that generation gap does not show, because everyone is perfect in their work. And when there is perfection there, age does not matter. And we all gel well together. That's the most important thing. So when there is gelling well together, question of senior, junior and all doesn't come.
So it's about, shooting in front of 6 cameras, so many lights, and now when you shoot this, it takes about 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, I don't know how many hours. So this is the first time that I'm sitting on a hot seat. So I just want to know, how is it when you go back home? How is it?
Oh my God, that's a $1 million question. And I know that when this is going to be aired, okay, he's going to be sitting in the audience. But I must say, he's been very, very understanding. But sometimes in the film industry as well as in documentaries and these kind of things, time does not matter. And when you say 1 hour, it could be 4 hours. But my husband is a stickler for time. When you say give a time, you always have to be on time. And I am one person who's never sticking to time. But God always says, unlike poles attract, and therefore we've got more than 42 years of a happy married life, and I can say that I don't keep to time and he keeps to time, and we're still smiling. Thank you, Arvind. You know, it's a good thing that you asked me, Vaishnavi, because unless you get your spouse's support, it becomes very difficult. Not that you can't do it, it becomes difficult. But in this case, it is Arvind's support and actually positively pushing me into this that I got into this venture. You may ask why? Because one, he was the one who said, you have the talent and you can't sit at home. You're a public figure, you can't sit at home. So he literally banged the table. He was very angry with me, and he said, when there is so much of talent at home, you and Pooja can do so much. You don't have to go outside for any help. The entire talent is at home. Why can't you do something? And I'll support you from behind. You have to do it. Yeah, Vaishnavi, I must say, I mean, this has been a critical turn in my career. Arvind has been very supportive because it was he who pushed me into this, literally pushed me into this, and perhaps even pushed Pooja into this as well, because for us to discover ourselves, he's the cause. And so when he's pushed us into this, many husbands will say, why do you have to go there, you just sit at home, etc. And he's the one who pushed us out and said, do. So question of whether it's 3 hours or 4 hours today, he may feel a little bad, why are you spending so much of time out? But when he sees the finished product, he's so appreciative. He looks at everything and he gives such good ideas, believe me, amazing. That's the support I get in the house. And not to forget, Pooja has also got a small child, 6-year-old, lovely child, much older for her knowledge, the thing that she has, but she has understood her and she helps her in her job. But more importantly, her husband also supports Pooja like the way my husband supports me. And so it's a nice jugalbandi. My husband and my son, they sit there and enjoy, and we are slogging over here in Masterclass. So Vaishnavi, you've also been very good. You've been able to adapt to all these challenging circumstances, because my work getting into this kind of a field has taken a lot of time that I would have given to you people, come to your place and been with the grandchildren. But at the same time, you've been telling them, you have managed my clinic so well, patients have been now telling me so many nice things about you. You've managed your home, you've also managed all the other challenges of running a home, and it's not easy. I mean, you've only got 24 hours like anybody else, and that I must really commend, because all these kinds of things, you are the real heroes. You know, why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? And you are the extraordinary people that have made me get into Masterclass.
So, we have been seeing in many generations, like the Kandani Paramparas that we are seeing, the son and the daughter, they're always differentiated. So, more benefits, more importance rather would be given to the son. But here, I don't think that is happening. It is always that you consider you have 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. So, this is something which I will incorporate and adapt into my life, so that I also treat everyone as a family and don't differentiate it as like son-in-law and daughter-in-law. Well, Mummy, it's been nice talking to you, and it's been my privilege to be here today to know what is happening behind the scenes of the Kamini Rao's Masterclass. On behalf of our whole family, I would take privilege in wishing you all the very best for your future endeavors. On behalf of our entire family, I would like to wish you and your team all the very best in your future endeavors. And as always, you rock, Mom.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. As always, you are the best. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi. It means a lot to have family support, because it's okay that you can win the support of the public, but to win the family support is very difficult, because they become your best critics and they become your best admirers, because they are the ones who care for you when you're down, and they are the ones who will be the first to congratulate you when your successes are there. So thank you very much.
I'm sure all of you have enjoyed our small chat today that we have had about what goes on behind the scenes of Dr. Kamini Rao's Masterclass. So keep watching Dr. Kamini Rao's Masterclass for more such inspiring episodes.